In every corner of the world, people search for wisdom. We all long for guidance that can help us live better lives, love more deeply, and serve more sincerely. Across history, certain men and women have stood out as shining lights, reminders that God's wisdom is greater than human knowledge. Among these, one name echoes through the ages, loved and respected by both Christians and Muslims alike. Prophet Solomon, known in Islam as Sulaiman. This is not just a story of a king. It is the story of a man who carried the weight of power, yet bowed in humility to God. A man who had wealth beyond imagination, yet asked not for riches, but for wisdom. A man who could command the winds and even the jinn, yet knew that true power belongs only to the Creator. In Christianity, Solomon is remembered as the son of King David, chosen to continue his father's legacy. The Bible tells us in the book of Kings that when Solomon became king, God appeared to him in a dream and offered him one wish. Imagine, you could ask for anything, wealth, power, long life. But Solomon, with a heart of humility, asked only for wisdom to govern his people justly. This touched the heart of God. And because Solomon did not ask selfishly, God not only granted him wisdom, but also blessed him with riches and honor greater than any king of his time. His name spread across nations. Rulers and queens traveled to witness his wisdom, and the Temple of Jerusalem, which he built for God, became a sacred symbol of devotion. Christians remember Solomon through the book of Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and the Song of Solomon. His words, timeless, poetic, full of insight, still guide millions today. For Christians, Solomon is not just a historical king, but also a voice of wisdom whose teachings still echo in churches, homes, and hearts across the world. His writings remind people that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and that true faith brings peace to both the soul and society. In Islam, Solomon, Sulaiman, is not only seen as a king, but as a prophet of Allah. The Quran tells us that he inherited knowledge and kingdom from his father, Dawood, David. But what made him special was not just his throne. It was the gifts Allah gave him. The ability to understand the speech of animals, the control of the winds, and command over the jinn. Yet, despite these miracles, Sulaiman never grew arrogant. He always said, "This is by the grace of my Lord." The Quran emphasizes his gratitude and humility. Even when he commanded armies of men, birds, and jinn, he bowed down in prayer, thanking Allah for his blessings. Muslims learn from him that wisdom is not about having power. It's about recognizing that all power comes from God. His life teaches humility, gratitude, and justice. One of the most famous stories shared in both the Bible and the Quran is that of the Queen of Sheba. In the Bible, she traveled from afar to test Solomon with questions. She found in him not only wisdom, but also a kingdom of beauty and justice. She praised the God of Israel, saying, "Because of the Lord's eternal love for Israel, he has made you king to maintain justice and righteousness." In the Quran, the Queen Bilqis encounters Sulaiman's extraordinary kingdom. She witnesses his miracles, his justice, and his faith. Eventually, she declares, "I submit, along with Solomon, to Allah, Lord of the worlds." This story reflects not only Solomon's wisdom, but also his power to inspire faith in others. It shows that true leadership is not about conquering lands, but about opening hearts to truth. Think for a moment. Both Christianity and Islam describe Solomon not just as a ruler, but as a teacher of wisdom. From the Bible, Christians draw on Proverbs, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding." From the Quran, Muslims remember Sulaiman's prayer, "My Lord, inspire me to be grateful for your blessings and to do righteousness that you are pleased with." Both traditions remind us that wisdom is not in wealth, nor in armies, nor in miracles. Wisdom is in gratitude, humility, and the courage to live in truth. In today's world, people often admire leaders for their power, wealth, or influence. But imagine if leaders prayed like Solomon did, not for riches, but for wisdom to serve their people. Imagine if we, in our personal lives, live like Solomon, grateful, humble, and just. His story still matters because it reminds us that greatness is not in crowns or kingdoms. Greatness is in service, justice, and remembering God. One of the most touching parts of Solomon's story is that he belongs to both Christians and Muslims. His name appears in the Bible and the Quran. His legacy is celebrated in churches and in mosques. This is powerful because it reminds us that beyond our differences, there are shared heroes, shared values, and shared lessons. Solomon is not a dividing figure. He is a bridge. He unites believers in their love of wisdom, justice, and devotion to God. For Christians, he is the wise king who built the temple. For Muslims, he is the grateful prophet who submitted to Allah. And for humanity as a whole, he is a reminder that true wisdom belongs to God alone. As we end this journey, let us reflect. Sulaiman, was a king, a prophet, a servant, and a man of wisdom. His story reminds us that no matter how much power or knowledge we gain, we must never forget gratitude and humility before God. The Bible and the Quran both honor him, showing us that his wisdom is not limited to one people or one faith. It is a treasure for all of humanity. So, the next time you search for wisdom in your own life, remember Solomon. Remember his prayer for guidance, his devotion to justice, his humility and power, and his gratitude for every blessing. May his story inspire us all, Christians, Muslims, and people of every faith, to walk the path of truth, wisdom, and peace.